Violence and persecution by family members and local police were the main reasons trans women Perla and Carla had to leave Honduras.
I'm a trans woman. I worked on the streets looking for money. I had to leave my country because of constant police and criminal gang persecution and people who discriminated against me.
At least 267,000 members of the Central American LGBTQI community live in the United States because of discrimination and violence in their countries of origin, according to the 2018 Movements and Migration Forum held in Honduras.
My father threatened me all the time. My two brothers constantly beat me and locked me in a room with no food or water for days. I went to the police and they didn't listen because of the way I am.
Perla and Gabriela are among 15 transgender women who were apprehended by Border Patrol agents at various places along the U.S. southern border on different days in February and held in the same detention center. They came with caravans that were walking towards the United States southern border.
The journey was very hard, sleeping on the street. Sometimes we found where to sleep and sometimes we didn't. But it never crossed my mind to go back, just forward.
The group was held in Immigration and Customs Enforcement South Texas Detention Center until Ruby Corrado, director of Casa Ruby, a nonprofit organization in Washington, D.C. that helps victims of violence, agreed to sponsor the group.
We are working with 15 people who are survivors of the conditions that the LGBTQI community endures in those countries. We offer them a roof, breakfast, food, mental health, help with HIV treatment and identification, access to health services, housing, and learning English.
Even though the Trump administration has tightened regulations to request asylum, most of the group hopes they can apply for it. Immigration lawyer Diego Ferreira explains via Skype, if they are fleeing persecution and have a reasonable fear, they can apply for it, but some of them are not familiar with those rights.
Being aware of their rights, including the right to apply for this type of relief, and being able to identify and access these available resources, that becomes a challenge. And I think that that's something we're seeing basically across the immigrant community.
Some of them fear for their lives without asylum in the U.S.
On one occasion, we were kidnapped and raped by the police. We were taken to a place where they tied us up and left a friend and me there.
The women hope they can stay in the United States and start a new life away from discrimination and the constant fear that comes with being who they are. But they also know that they face a long legal process first. Gesell Tobias, VOA News, Washington.
Shit, I'm not walking there.